Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Wow, I bought a bottle of Found North. Cask strength whiskey. I have T8KE, so Take-04, and the distillery country is Canada, and we have here 55.4% ABV. Now, this actually does have a whiskey-based number, and that is here 268499. It has the code word of Johannes. I say Johannes, but it's Johannes. So, and that was bottled for r/bourbon, so the Reddit subgroup for bourbon here. Now, I paid, and now we're going to have tears in our eyes. I think the average retail price in America is $120. I paid 239 euros for this. Now, this was actually brought to Germany through Miss Canada. So thank you very much for doing that. And we have here actually a mash bill of 53% rye, 45% corn, and 2% malted barley. And what they did is they actually bought a barrel of 20-year-old Canadian rye, 12-year-old Canadian rye, and 10-year-old Canadian rye, mixed it all together, blended it all together, mixed it all together with a 16-year-old corn whiskey from Canada and a 14-year-old. So 5 different whiskeys from Canada were blended together, and then they were put into an ex-sherry cask, Pedro Jimenez ex-sherry, a Ex-Sauternes cask, a fortified wine basically from France, and in a Ex-Pineau de Charlatan Blanc cask. Now, if I remember correctly, Canada usually makes 100%. So 100% rye, 100% corn. Well, that might not be true, because if you want to send the whiskey over to Europe, according to the Scottish Whisky Association, a whiskey is only a whiskey when it has barley, malted barley in it. And so what many of places did, MGP do that as well. They do 99% corn, 1% malted barley. 99% rye, 1% malted barley. And that might actually give us the answer here why we have 53% rye, 45% corn, and 2% malted barley. So there might be a ratio of the rye of more 53% versus 45% corn, with that little 2% left over for the malted barley. Now, this is the brainchild of 2, at least for me, very, very interesting people. And we have here, with Found North, we have Zach and Nick Taylor. They're brothers. They started in 2021, so just 4 years ago, Found North as a company with no intentions whatsoever of saying we're going to have our own distillery. They're like, hey, we're going to source whiskeys, we're going to blend it together, we're going to make something awesome. One person said this is basically the love child of George T. Stagg and Canadian Crown. I like that. And so it's always cask strength, no additives, always non-chilled filtered, everything that we want, no color added. And they did not want to become here Crown Royal, not Canadian. It's as if they have as if Crown Royal and George T. Stagg had a baby. Bam. They didn't want to be the 500th bottler of MGP juice or Bardstown juice or Barton's juice or Green River juice or whatever juice you want to talk about. They said, hey, let's go and tap a market that hardly anyone is tapping at the moment, Canadian whiskey. As I tend to say, all the good whiskey in Canada often remains in Canada. But there's some good old stuff for an okay price. Now, $119, would I buy this again in the States? Maybe. Would I pay 239 euros for this again? No. But hey, don't forget, it often costs double the price to bring individual bottles over here with the VAT tax, with the excise tax, with all the import tax. They just add up, shipping, handling, and so on. I just bought another 6 bottles from Blackwell's that send it over here. And per bottle, I'm paying with the excise tax and shipping 51 euros per bottle without the bottle. So if I buy a 50 euro bottle, and it's going to cost me 101 euros to get it here. If I buy a $120 bottle, it's going to cost me 170 euros to get it here. It's a lot of money, but that's the way that is at the moment. So what am I going to compare it to, just because I can? I have from KO Distilling one of their cask strength straight rye whiskeys. This is 61.8%. This is Manassas, Virginia. They made it themselves. All right. So we have 57 months of, is it 57 or 51? It's 51 months old. So the 7s and 1s, and with American and European numbers are sometimes confusing. So it's 51 months old, so 4 years and 3 months basically, at 61.8%. And I think that's a very, very interesting comparison here, to be honest. Now, I was at the distillery a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, N10 Bourbons decided not to bring these products over here to Europe, put that in their portfolio, but I really liked their products. So let's nose these, let's compare these. There is, of course, tasting notes online. People have done write-ups about this. What do I get? The first thing I get is a little bit of grape and a little bit of fig notes here. I like. Do I get a little bit of Pedro Jimenez on the nose? Maybe. Do I get Sauternes? No. What I am getting is a little bit of like Joseph Magnus cigar blend. They also use different casks here to do this. No coloring, no filtering, no additives, barrel strength. It's a blend of 10 to 20-year-old whiskeys. So the Found North is actually based in Massachusetts. The official take notes here are opulent on the nose. Sweet brochet notes emanate immediately with undertones of raisins, tobacco, figs, stewed fruits, and a hint of blackberry. Dry oak, rich must, and some parchment notes pop with a fat and buttery texture on the palate. So, wow, good notes. Over here, this is more conventional rye. I forgot what the mash bill is at KO Distilling. I'm just too lazy to look it up at the moment. So this straight rye whiskey is made with 100% Virginia rye. So, and delivers quite a punch, distilled in small batches of no more than 10 barrels and bottled and labeled by hand. Pour, sip, and enjoy. Drink KO responsibly. All right, so 100% rye, just like Catoctin Creek as well. I didn't get that. I get a lot more of a raspberry here. I like. So this smells complexer, but also a tiny little bit overloaded. Do I really need a Canadian rye corn mix in Pedro Jimenez, Sauternes, and the Blanc de Charenton casks? It's a question. I don't know. All right, let's try this. So, cheers. The thing that disappoints me the most about this is the heat at the beginning. There's so much heat. It's just like, oh, ouch. As soon as the heat dissipates now, you get flavor. Oh, it's a great, great flavor. But that heat is something that turns me off. So on Reddit, one of the reviews says here, on the nose, kind of like a Fig Newton, honey, breadiness, figginess, interesting. And in the mouth, it says a little burn up front. I think it's a lot of burn up front. And that grape note from maybe the Blanco wine cask, maybe from the Sauternes, which is also a white wine cask with a noble rot there. Maybe that is coming through a little bit more. It's good. Now, if I ignore the burn and just have the aftertaste, it's like a B. The burn, though, takes it down to a C. And so I'm going to give this whiskey a B minus C++. I'm going to dilute it down from 55.4 to about 48%. It is unique. Much better with a little bit of water. The heat dissipates more. It's sweeter. There's more oak. There's dried apricots added in the mix here. That is good. That is actually, with water, it's going to be up to the B minus again. Very, very nice. Value for money, 239 euros. This is a D minus. As I said, no, I would not buy a bottle again. I have had a few comments on my website here on YouTube and so on that whenever I test a cask strength rye whiskey, they just say, Jason, buy Found North. Found North is great. Found North, you have to try that. Found North is a place to be, Jason. And I just went, okay, I need a bottle. I can't find it on any of the websites that sell it over here to Germany. Miss Ganna got her hands on one of them, and it's just like, oh, thank you, I'll take it. It's a little steep in the price, but I'll take it and I can learn more about it. So, what's the future of Found North? Will they continue being able to source aged 10 plus years Canadian whiskeys? I don't know. Will someone actually try to buy them out like Penelope was bought out by MGP? I don't know. Will they continue producing interesting whiskeys? Definitely. Now, if you go to Found North, foundnorthwhiskey.com, you will see a website with their whiskeys. So they have, for example, in 2024, they had a blend of 21, 24-year-old rye with 23, 24, and 25-year-old corn whiskey finished in cognac and new wood. That looks very interesting. Peregrine. They had the Hoover's Hawk First Flight. They had batch 10. They had batch 9. They have Hell Driver's First Flight. Batch 8, 7, 6. Nothing about their single casks, only their batches here. But they have won double gold at the San Francisco Wine and Spirits Competition in 2021. They won double gold at the John Barley Corn Awards 2022. They had gold in 2022 in San Francisco as well. They've won awards, and maybe rightfully so. 2023, they had at the San Francisco Wine and Spirits Competition, also gold 2020, even a double gold 2023. So they're doing good stuff, and I really wanted to try them, and I'm not disappointed, and yet I'm still not totally convinced that this is the whiskey I'm going to pay, at least over here in Europe, 200 plus euros for. Now in the States, as I said, for 119, would I buy a different bottle from them and try that? Yes. That would be my price point here. Now this I can get much, much cheaper. I think this runs, I don't know, is it 80 euros, $80? The heat is much less than this. The 55.4 has more of the heat, has more of the white pepper. This has more of an alcohol, but a richness, a depth. The rye really comes through. It has more sweetness as well. If you've never tried the KO self-made, self-distilled, single barrel, bare knuckle, straight rye whiskey, cask strength, distilled and bottled in the KO distillery in Manassas, Virginia, please try to find this. Good stuff. Really like it. Would I understand this blind to be a corn whiskey with rye together? No, I'd get the rye. Would I understand this to be a 10-year-old whiskey? Maybe. Would I be able to pick out the notes of the Johannes sherry casks? No. Would I be able to pick out a white wine note? Yes. If it's Sauternes and if it's the Blanco wine here, I don't know, but it has that Joseph Magnus cigar malt feeling going on here. We have a dumpy bottle. Normally the bottles look more like this, so that's also an interesting fact. My question of the day is, what is your personal opinion here at Found North? Have you tried anything from them and gone, wow, it blows my socks off? Or have you tried something that's like, well, yeah, but? I commend them on their business acumen for actually saying, hey, we're not going to source from MGP. We're going to go a different route. Just like Bourbon Pursuit went a different route that said, hey, our, the Five Lakes Distillery up in New York, they're going to blend together with other things. Great, fantastic. That's different. Everyone uses MGP. Everyone uses Green River or Bardstown or Barton's. Not many people go a different route, and I think that's great, and I have to commend them for that. And you're actually creating such a following that they've actually installed a lottery system to get the bottles. More people want to buy the bottles than they actually have bottles to sell. Good problem, bad problem. So you can actually sign up on the website to become part of the lottery. Go to the newsletter, sign up there. You'll get the email shot to say, hey, and they will send it to you in America, not to Europe, unfortunately, if you have a state that is legal to send to. I thought, well, Tennessee, you can't send whiskey to Tennessee. Didn't know that. Other states I knew. All right, so what's your opinion personally of Found North, and who else is blending whiskey, Canadian, American, and actually selling it? Barrel, yay. Lost Lantern, need to get me one of those. United Pursuit, Found North. Who else? Who else is a good blender of whiskey out there? I could actually say Little Book is a great blended whiskey. They've used a lot of Canadian whiskey as well there. So thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and see you real soon. And this bottle is 100% shared already. It's gone. Bye-bye.